For some, it kind of solidifies the fact that their feelings are valid and that there's other people that feel that way. I think sometimes it's easy, especially as an adolescent in 5th through 8th grade, to feel very isolated. So I think this show does a great job of allowing other people to feel what you feel and know that you're not alone in that struggle.
The big picture of I Will Listen is ultimately to end the stigma against mental health and mental illnesses, whether that be through education or advocacy or just knowing is for students' voices to be heard. I Will Listen with the speakers, the art exhibit, and the exercise room has been going on for 2 years now. Last year was our first year to get the art exhibit and the exercise room up and running.
For the exercise room, we had Zumba, yoga, meditation, and circuit training, and all of those were just kind of in addition to the art room so that we could promote that as well as art, because both are really good ways to help your mental health.
We've never really thought about doing research, and this time we did decide to do that just to understand deeper the impact that this event has, specifically the art and the people that submit the art and how that has affected their mental health. We want to present it at the National Alliance for Mental Illness conference. We would just want to talk about what impacts that this has had and hopefully get that out to a national level so we can show other people, maybe even other schools and stuff, that this stuff does help and they could implement it to better help their students deal with the stress and everything else that's going on in their life.
I'm kind of a new mom in that I have a 3-year-old and I have a almost 1-year-old. So I've always been a very active person, kind of on the go. I would say now probably have always been kind of an anxious person, but it wasn't until after I had both of my girls that I just felt like the weight of the world was kind of crashing down. And you want your sense of normalcy, but it's hard as a mom because you're trying to be multiple people, and my piece kind of talks more about it, but it's kind of like the person that you once were before becoming a mother kind of has to die in order to become this new person. And that's hard, because from the outside, everyone in society kind of sees you become this mother and they just assume that everything's fine. And so it kind of speaks about, the struggle that happens internally when you're trying to let go of who you were and the things that you used to do that made you feel like you.
I just wanted it to be like a visual representation of COVID and the way that that trauma follows you. I actually got COVID back in September 2020, and that was kind of why I decided to make it. It's an experience that we are all collectively going through, but I also went through it differently, and I think that that is still important to bring up and to want to talk about, even if it was a traumatic experience that we are still dealing with.
It's on this canvas and I just painted and put words and pictures. And I was like, this is how I explain my life. Don't know how it explains it, but when I look at it, I'm like, it just applies. And then the next one is a butterfly. You see in that piece how depression has kind of dulled my shine and dulled how I present myself as a person.
I made it last semester in my sculpture class, and it's supposed to be a visual representation of generational trauma and how it trickles down into the next generation. It's also just a way for me to conceptualize my own anxieties about my future and my kids and what I want their experience to be instead of mine. I think it brings a sense of community that I feel like wasn't very represented before, especially since there are pieces from kids that are still in grade school. Those are really big, heavy topics that they are trying to express, and I think that's really exciting and important.
The talent that people have, seeing that from whether it be 6 years old to 106 years old, it's like we all feel the same emotions. But this event is allowing people to express those emotions through paint or crafting rather than words, because sometimes it's harder to find those words.
One of the things I really made sure I told them is that I'm proud of them, but not because of their artwork. I'm proud of them because they put their heart out there. And that's hard to do. That's hard as an adult to do. That's hard as a college student to do. Because your art really is, that internal, that work of heart. And so I'm so happy that they took the chance on that.